Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 26th of April. Starting with the S&P, which has bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel from October, and also above the previous support zone around 49.20. Ideally, we avoid that and we keep with the floor of the channel there, currently at 5,000, above 5,000. We're looking for 51.20 at that March resistance line and the 50-day moving average. Next up is the Nasdaq 100, and here you can see that we've also been testing uptrend lines, in this case one at 17,100, above that looking rather simply for the 50-day line, and I suppose the big number there around 18,000 over the next couple of weeks. Same with the S&P in terms of its rebound. There is a line of resistance there from the end of last month heading through 18,100, and again that will be the area to beat around the 18,000 level. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with the perhaps not so familiar name. Here we've got Avenue Therapeutics. Interesting here that we may be settling into a falling wedge, which hopefully will be a bullish setup for this stock. We have a gap down this week, and so we're looking for basically proper break of that resistance line there from November around the $10 mark. Above that, then looking for a retest of March resistance up to the $15 area sometime during May. Next situation is from Riley and B Riley, in fact, and here you can see shares making good on the gap higher, but broke that trend line there from back in November around $26. Above that, looking for up to $48, which is the top of that broadening triangle from back in October, November last year, hoping for that by the end of next month. Interesting setup, an interesting name. The next company, Impinj, and here you can see we've got a wide rising trend channel from July last year, broken out through all the one-year resistances, etc., etc. I suppose the highest resistance there in the recent past were around $145. Above that, we're looking for $200 plus, maybe by the end of June, or the way things are going, even sooner than that. An old favorite coming up next, old favorite because it's gone up and stayed up. In fact, it's overshot the runway. We were looking for around $16 first, then up to $22, and then that was broken. Then we were looking for a rather unbelievable sounding $44, and that's been broken too. So above 44, now looking for presumably the final destination for Iczoom, as high as $60 by the end of next month. MoneyHero is a stock we've looked at quite a few times before. Here we're trying to break out of that triangle there since November. That's around the $2.20 level. Above that, looking for a retest basically of the December resistance zone above $4 by the end of next month. But the key here is remaining on the right side of the $2 level. Miners are looking rather better at the moment, with Newmont, one of those benefiting as well. Rising trend channel base from September, looking up to $47 over the next couple of weeks, while we remain above the recent resistance, or the end of year resistance, around $42 on an end of day close basis. Next situation on the roster is PAM, and here you can see that it's been a bear trap gap reversal, so bear trap rebound from below the old November support there around $15.60. Above that on an end of day close basis, looking for $20 plus by the end of next month, and more time we can spend above that, rising over that rather 50-day moving average. Currently falling actually, but that 50-day line, the better in terms of getting that target through $20. We're moving along to a stock which I think that we've looked at for quite some time. We've got Shimmick here. You can see that rebound within a falling wedge, top of the wedge there around $4.50. So looking for that hopefully over the next few sessions. Best case is that we get back up to the old or previous $5.80 zone support, pre-April support for the shares by the end of next month. And if you're looking for a stop loss, it would probably be around the $3.30 area, which was the support on the way down. Another stock of interest at the moment is Strategic Education, and here you can see why. Rising trend channel there from back in basically this time last year, and looking for the top of that channel as high as $125 over the next couple of weeks, while we remain above the recent March resistance at $111. Moving on to the last three. The first one we have looked at before, SC Works, and here still bumping along the bottom, but the rising 50-day line there around $2.10 above that, looking for the top of the channel there from back in August last year, as high as $4.80 by the end of next month. Let's hope that this time is the final bounce for the shares. Good chart coming up in a second for the ultra life situation. Here we've got a rising trend channel in place since August, gapped up in back in February, and gapped up again through resistance in question around $10, above $10. We are looking for the top of that channel as high as $16 by the end of next month, and it looks like a pretty strong situation given the bear trap from below the rising 50-day line and the gap through resistance that we've just had. Finishing off with Vast Renewables, and here gaps are in play as well, in the sense that we gapped up back in March, and the floor of the gap there around the $3.20 level. The share's too strong to fill that gap, so it's a failed gap rebound, which is actually a very bullish signal, especially when combined with a rising 50-day line. The view at the moment is the longer we stay above recent support around $3.40 to $3.50, the greater the chance of a move back to the top of that rising trend channel from last year, as high as $8 by the end of next month. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.